So here's another fanfiction that is based off of a massive comic book event, and I retweaked it. Now, I do something similar on my other channel, Comic Universe, which you guys can check out in the link below. But yeah, this time I'm just going to be talking about something that I kicked around in my head, but the thing is that it's so it would be so massive, like the actual event, I don't know if I would be willing to undertake it. And that is a cartoon adaptation of Acts of Vengeance. Now, for those who don't know what Acts of Vengeance is, Acts of Vengeance was this Marvel event that came out in '89 and went all the way to 1990, where, essentially in a nutshell, it was so simple, but it was so effective. In that, what happened was that Doctor Doom, the Mandarin, Kingpin, Red Skull, Magneto, all these like major villains got together and it was like, you know, we're not really we're not doing this whole, you know, fight the heroes and making it work. It's not going so well. So maybe what we should do is switch it up. Like, I'll go fight your bad guy, I'll go fight your hero, you go fight mine, and we'll switch it up and see what happens. So we got some cool fights out of it, like there was Thor and Juggernaut threw down, Ultron and fought Daredevil, Tiger Shark went after Wolverine, I think Magneto went after Captain America. A lot of cool shit. There was a lot of cool shit in Acts of Vengeance, and it just kind of leads itself more so than most than most of these other adaptations, because it's so simple. Just have all these villains get together and fight cartoon heroes. There's so many you could pick from. And that's always been kind of the thing. Now, I have been working on a other version of this with my friend Jason Voorhees 2011 on his fanfiction page. We've been working on that. We've been working on a lot of stuff together. But I was kind of like, what if I did it my own way? Because there were some other characters I wanted to use and others I would like to play with, so I'm not discrediting Jason in any way. His story's pretty good as well. But I was just thinking, what if I could do this my own, what if I went solo? What if I went solo and played, and what would I do with that? So this was kind of my version, different from his, because in his version, it's Bill Cipher who brings together all the villains from across the multiverse, and is like, hey, let's go switch it up, let's switch universes. And there were some cool, we had cool matchups like, the Predacons went after Jenny, Jasper went after Jake Long, Mojo went after Wander, stuff like that. So, mine is a little closer, only it's more of a cartoon shared universe, and it's someone else pulling the strings. Much like in the comic, a lot of villains are brought together, and they're kind of like, well, this superhero problem's kind of causing a ruckus here, this big, massive superhero problem's causing a ruckus. What do we do about this? And in enters the master planner of this entire shindig, Mirage, from Aladdin the Animated Series. Now, Mirage is evil incarnate, for those who are unaware, and the forces, and she believes the balance between good and evil is shifting more in good's light, and it's mostly the villain's fault. But she's got a plan. It's more like, hey, What if we switched up? There needs to be chaos here. So, what's more chaotic than tripping the heroes and making them think that they're fighting just another villain when they're fighting someone who they have no knowledge of facing? So, you go fight him, you go fight her, she'll fight you, he'll fight you, we'll trip them up and catch them by surprise. That's how we're going to beat these superheroes. So the villains are like, fuck yeah, let's do it! So, in this version of Acts of Vengeance, there were so many matchups I thought of. There were so many, matchups I thought of having in here. For one, one matchup was Meteora, facing off with the Powerpuff Girls, because she just kind of lends herself to being, not just a big monster, but a big intelligent monster that can drain people's souls. Yeah. So, that's something the Powerpuff Girls haven't faced before. It's in their wheelhouse of fighting a giant monster, but it's on a different scale. So, Meteora would go after the Powerpuff Girls, Vilgax would go after, Vilgax goes after Voltron. It's in space, he goes after it. Zarkon is goes after, Who did I send Zarkon after? Who did I want Zarkon to go after? Oh yeah, the Autobots. Yeah, the Autobot Zarkon and the Galra take on the Autobots. I was also thinking the Shredder goes after Ladybug and Cat Noir. That was another matchup. And not just the Shredder, it was the entire Foot Clan at his side. And also, for reference, it's the 2012 Shredder. 2012 animated series Shredder. For others, it was Krang against Randy Cunningham. Yeah, because Krang is such an out there, and it's 80s Krang. It's 80s universe Krang. Because he exists in the multiverse, so Mirage just picks him up and goes in and is sent to go get him. Who did I have go after Ben? I can't remember who would go after Ben. Oh yeah, it was Megatron and the Decepticons. Yeah, Megatron and the Decepticons go after Ben. Xana takes on the Mystery Shack gang. Bill Cipher goes after Jenny. Yeah, a lot of big shifts, because a lot of these guys don't know how to combat some of these threats. Some of these guys are more used to taking on opponents that are like more in their wheelhouse. Some of these guys are just incredibly powerful and not usually someone they face. It's not someone they can just Some of them just can't be punched, and some of them can just attack you from afar. Now. I did have it that in the original comic there is the whole cosmic Spider-Man, which Spider-Man gets cosmic powers and becomes the most powerful thing ever. But in here there's no super cosmic character. There's just how do we fight these guys? How do we take these guys on? I don't know what to do. How do we fight villains that we don't even fully understand? And like I said, this is all one giant game by Mirage, who has essentially set this up as like, this is how evil is going to win. This is how evil is going to survive. And it's not just here. I'm going to attack the multiverse as well. So I'm going to have like villains go after like the Darkwing Duck and Baloo from Tailspin and a lot of characters also in the multiverse are would also be under attack by different villains. Yeah. Oh man, I had it was Vlad taking on Darkwing. Yeah, it was Vlad Plasmius and Darkwing Duck. Who did I have the fear? Oh yeah, Wander was taking on the Fearsome Five. Yeah, Wander was taking on the Fearsome Five. Dominator took on Shizao. Lord Hater fought. Lord Hater and his army faced off with the Code Lyoko group. Yeah, just a lot of chaos. But yeah, so. There you go, guys. That is pretty much the story in a nutshell. That is, on a whole, just all these random villains taking on random heroes, and it's the heroes being beaten back and taken on by all these different heroes, taking on all these villains in a fight to the, in some cases, fight to the death. Anyway, so, yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below. What do you guys think of this Acts of Vengeance, this version of this classic Marvel story? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? And also, really curious about it, but what hero-villain mashup would you want to, would you do if you could write your own Acts of Vengeance? Who would you have face? What villain would you have face what hero? I don't know, like Mojo and the Stormhawks or something. Just throwing that out there as an example. You know what I'm saying? Just having that as a example, but. Yeah, just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.